So after months and months and months of waiting for this fight to finally get announced, I can't wait. This fight actually gives me super fight feels. And we're going to be going over this fight in today's video. I'm not going to give you a stylistic breakdown, and this fight won't be close. This is going to be that type of video. I just want to break down what this fight actually means for both JDM and Islam, because I actually think there's a lot more on the line than you guys actually realize for both the winner and loser of this fight. Because this is, as young as JDM is, this is a massive opportunity for him. And for Islam as well, we'll actually start with Islam. We'll talk about Islam first. When I actually look at this fight for Islam Makhachev, this, and I know he's been openly talking about how he wants to get that second belt and then retire. I do see that. I don't think he's going to retire Islam. I don't think Islam's going to retire straight after this fight. I think he'll defend it once, maybe twice, and then retire. I think that's Islam's game plan, is win the belt, defend it once or twice, then retire. And I would have no problem if he decided to do that. I don't want to where we get a case of a fighter wins a belt, then retires, because that sucks. Then you have to have someone fight for the vacant belt, but are they really fighting for the vacant belt because that champion retired and that champion could arguably beat the guy that's fighting for the belt? Like, it gets messy and it gets complicated when you look at those certain aspects of it. But when I look at Islam Makhachev, if he wins this fight against JDM, he's the GOAT. That's even if you do or don't have John Jones in your GOAT discussion or in your GOAT list. Like, I personally don't have John Jones in my GOAT list. I don't include drug cheats. I think I just don't appreciate John Jones. He's not in my GOAT list. But you guys might have him, and I have no problem if you guys have John Jones as your greatest fighter of all time. But if Islam wins this belt against JDM, he's the GOAT. Because I'm also going to say this as well about this fight. This is both Islam and JDM's toughest opponents that I think they'll ever fight. I don't know a single opponent that is more difficult for Della Maddalena than Islam Makhachev. And it goes the same ways. I don't know a welterweight that is tougher than JDM for Islam, which makes this fight even bigger for Islam. Because if Islam wins, this would be one of his best wins of all time. And I think winning that second belt, because that's almost what Khabib has, right? Like, Khabib cleared lightweight. He did this to every lightweight and blah, 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 blah. But he never got that second belt and he retired too early. Islam has the opportunity to, I'm going to say, complete what is missing from Khabib's legacy. Because Khabib was all, he didn't get the second belt, he retired too early, he didn't stick around, blah, blah, blah. Islam is going to try get that second belt and try to defend it. And I think that's a big thing. And should he win against JDM as well, he would tie Anderson Silva's win streak. It would tie it. Which is a big thing. And this is where we get into the negatives as well. If Islam loses, that win streak's gone. It's like Kamaru Usman. Like, Kamaru Usman, I know you can't really see the poster, but it's right next to my bed. Right under UFC 301. On that poster there, I've got Leon versus Kamaru Usman 2. Usman was a minute away from tying Anderson Silva's win streak. Only 1 minute. And he got head kicked. That's how close he was. And I did pick Leon to win that fight, but not in that aspect. I thought Leon was going to win a decision. Turns out he didn't know how to fucking wrestle. I don't think he's ever learned how to wrestle either. But that's a big factor for Islam. That win streak's gone. That's kind of been one of the biggest things holding him together. Like, he got finished by Pantoja on his debut. And since then, Pantoja's gone, nah, these lightweights too easy. I'm going to go cut down to flyweight and kind of shrink, go in a compressor and just kind of compress down to flyweight. Whereas Islam stayed at lightweight and done so well. Like, he's the lightweight GOAT. He's top 5 all time. There's no denying how great he is. But if he loses, and this is another thing as well. If Islam loses, what does he do? Does he stay at welterweight and go and fight a contender? Does he go and fight a Sean Brady? Does he go and fight a Shavkat? Does he go and fight an Ian Gary? That's what we're looking at for Islam if he loses. And he's going to need 2 wins to get back to a title shot. Because welterweight is very close to having a lot of top contenders. Very close. Like, I know Usman and Bilal, that's all but confirmed pretty much. If Usman wins, he's fighting for the belt. I know Ian Gary turned down to fight Sean Brady, so Sean Brady's looking for an opponent. I think it's going to be Shavkat. I think they're going to do Sean Brady versus Shavkat. The winner of that's fighting for the belt. But then you've also got Leon fighting Carlos Prates. If Prates wins, he's looking at a number 1 contenders match. But then what about Michael Morales? Who's he fighting next? You see what I'm saying? Like, welterweight is one of the best divisions right now. Anyway, I don't even need to really mention that. It's that good. But we have so many top contenders that are going to be fighting for the belt next and are looking at the winner of this fight. And for Islam, if you lose, you're fighting one of those dangerous contenders. If you're staying at welterweight. Or are you going to go down to lightweight? Are you going to cut back down to lightweight and go fight Ilia Topuria? Because that's kind of the fallback option for Islam, right? And I think that's the big fact with a lot of fighters nowadays. It's a little bit different with Islam, I will say that. But like, I look at Ilia, right, where Ilia moved up. If Ilia lost to Charles, he could have gone back down to 45 to featherweight and fight Volk in a rematch. It would have been different if Lopez won the belt. If Lopez beat Volkanovski and then Ilia was moving back down, it's a little bit more different. But because he's gotten the win over Volk, he can always fall back on that option. There's always that backwards pedal where, oh shit, these lightweights are really big. I'm going to go back down and rematch Volkanovski. Whereas Islam hasn't fought Ilia next. And Ilia is his most dangerous opponent. And is the hype for Islam versus Ilia still there if Jack wins? If Jack wins this fight, and for argument's sake, let's say JDM finishes Islam, is there still hype for Islam versus Ilia? Is there that same amount of excitement or anticipation that you guys have? Because I wouldn't. I'd think, yeah, like, it's a sick fight. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great fight, but Islam just lost. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. And again, like, what does Islam do if he loses? Like, if he wins, it's all well and good. He's the greatest of all time. He's got 2 belts. And he's going to go on to try to defend the 170 belt once or twice. That's great. I think he does become the GOAT. And expect a lot of wars. I'm joking. But if Islam wins, he's the GOAT. He's got that 2nd belt. He'll try to defend the belt. He'll try to do all this and that. There's no denying Islam Makhachev if he gets that 2nd belt. But if he loses, it'd be one of the greatest wins in welterweight history. And it catapults JDM's legacy. Because I, as myself and a lot of you guys as well, will have Islam Makhachev in your top 5. He's undeniably in everyone's top 5 all-time list, Islam Makhachev is. If JDM gets a win over that guy, and again, that's arguably his most dangerous opponent. And if he does win, because I'm picking JDM to win a decision, but if JDM wins, I'm expecting his boxing to look insane, his defensive wrestling to look insane, his scrambling to look insane, his chinning cardio to look insane. Because that's what you have to beat Islam. You have to basically be one of the greatest fighters of all time to beat or compete with Islam Makhachev. You just have to. Look at Volkanovski. Volk competed with Islam and made it very competitive. Dustin Poirier, the greatest fighter to never win the belt, and put everything on the line in that fight. I thought that should have been Dustin Poirier's retirement fight against Islam Makhachev. That's the way that he should have gone out. I would have loved that if he went out like that. But I look at JDM, and again, I'm not doing a stylistic breakdown. He's a better boxer than Poirier. He's younger than Poirier. He's bigger than Poirier. He's got better defensive wrestling than Poirier. He's got better cardio than Poirier. Does he have a better chin than Poirier? I don't know, because Poirier's chin's very, very good. But JDM is like the evolved Dustin Poirier. And he's very young. He's only 28. If you beat Islam, That's one of the greatest wins of all time. And I'm not being crazy. I'm not being delusional. That is one of the best wins of all time if you beat Islam Makhachev. Like, we glaze Dominic Reyes for his win over Jon Jones. And we look at, like, Johnny Hendricks who beat GSP or all these other wins. These wins over these greatest fighters of all time. If JDM beats Islam, and Islam's in his prime. Islam is in his prime right now. If JDM beats that guy, and you're looking at, I'm not saying right after, but you're looking at GOAT status for him. You really are. You beat Islam. That's your first title defense. And JDM's only 28, by the way, so he's got a good 4 years here, 5 years left. You beat Islam. Who the fuck is left that can actually compete with what Islam is? Like, let's talk about welterweight. Like, I will say this, though. I do think Sean Brady is probably the most dangerous opponent for JDM. But I think JDM beats him. JDM did just beat Bilal. JDM beats Shavkat. JDM beats Leon. JDM beats Usman. JDM beats Ian Gary. JDM beats Michael Morales. JDM beats Buckley. JDM beats Carlos Prates. JDM beats Colby Covington. JDM beats everybody. And I'm expecting him to look at his best in his next fight. Where this guy could actually go on a legendary run. Like, I look at Kamaru Usman, right? And I'm going to look at Kamaru Usman's legacy and his title reign and what he's done. Where his win streak was incredible. JDM's also on a very solid win streak as well. He hasn't lost in the UFC yet. He's on a very, very solid win streak. I think he's on a 12-fight win streak. I don't want to get that wrong. Jack Della Maddalena win streak. So I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to get this stat wrong for you guys. Because it'd be rude of me too. We might get a couple ads because we're on Tapology. So bear with me. And close that. Okay. Let's do some maths. Okay. Close that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He's on an 18-fight win streak. How many of them aren't in the UFC? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's on an 8-fight win streak in the UFC. Very, very, very impressive. And then again, if he beats Islam, he's now on 9. I don't see him really ever losing if he beats JDM. But I'm gonna look at Kamaru Usman's title reign, right? And what he's done. When you look at Kamaru Usman's title reign and his overall greatness, if he would have beaten Leon Edwards, I would have put him tied with GSP as the greatest of all time. Tied. If he beat Leon, he would have been tied with GSP or very close, and he would have been one win away from overtaking him. We would have been right behind him, get one more win, you overtake GSP, or you're right on GSP. I look at JDM. You beat Islam, okay. Then we'll go through 4 title wins. You got Islam, obviously. Should he win this week? Like, obviously. But Shavkat, Sean Brady. Who are we looking at next? Shavkat, Sean Brady. Maybe Ian Gary. And then a Carlos Prates, a Michael Morales, a Bilal or Usman. That would arguably put him right up there as the greatest welterweight of all time, which then will arguably put him as the greatest of all time, because a lot of people have GSP as their GOAT. You have JDM, who gets 5 title defenses with Islam Makhachev, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Sean Brady, who'd we just say? Ian Gary, and then we're looking at a Prates, a Michael Morales, one of those up-and-comers that are making it into the rankings now. That puts him right up there as one of the greatest of all time. But if he loses, this is a big thing as well, if he loses, he is still very, very young. He can fall back on that factor where he is young, he beat Bilal. If he loses, he's just number 1 contender. He's number 1 contender at welterweight. And then it depends on how he loses. We were looking at, I'd say 2 more wins to get a title shot for JDM if he loses. You get 2 losses. Like, let's say Carlos Prates beats Leon. And JDM... Yeah, fuck it, let's do that. Let me cook now. Let's do the loser of this fight versus the loser of this fight. Or the winner, sorry. Winner of this fight fights the loser of this. And whoever wins this, you beat one of these two, you get a title shot. You lose, it is what it is. Where I look at JDM, if JDM loses, I'm looking at one of these two. That's just what you're looking at. I'm looking at one of these two next. And then who? Ian Gary? Sean Brady, number one contenders match? He beats one of those two. And then he's building that legacy already. And he's building that stacked resume already. And then potentially being a two-time champion. JDM, if he loses, it's not the end of the world for him. It's really not. You lose, you're looking at two top contenders, which builds your resume, builds your legacy, and it's not the end of the world. You're kind of okay. Islam, if you lose, like, yeah, you can go fight a top contender at welterweight. It'd be great. But you didn't get that second belt. Or are you going to go back down to lightweight and go fight the most dangerous opponent you possibly could with Ilia Topuria? You lose to Ilia, then what? You're on a 2-fight losing streak? And he's openly only wants, what, 3 fights left? You lose to JDM, you lose to Ilia. What are you looking at next? You're looking at fucking Justin Gaethje? Paddy Pimblett? It's not a great look. Arman Sukin rematch? Mateusz Gamrot? Maybe he stays at welterweight. Maybe he does. But, like, I've openly said that I'll die on this hill. I think Buckley is a stylistic nightmare for Islam Makhachev. I really do. I'm looking at a lot of these guys, and I think they do give Islam trouble. They do give Islam a lot of problems. I am worried for Islam Makhachev if he loses to Jack Maddalena. But we might not even need to worry about it. Like, Islam might go out there and fucking school Jack Maddalena, and I'm going to look like an absolute idiot. And he's going to retire as the greatest of all time, and he just will. He's just going to be that good. He's undeniable. He's this, he's that, he's blah, blah, blah. I get it. I completely understand it. But you've got to look at the possibility that if Islam loses, what the fuck does he do? What does he actually do? With JDM, you're looking at those top contenders next. Everyone will want to fight JDM because they'll see him as a striker. And, oh yeah, I can go out there and I can go wrestle Jack Maddalena to a decision. I can go wet bank the JDM for a decision. You can't. It can't go on like this, can it? It can. You can't go on like that with JDM. You just can't. You can. I'm getting carried away. This is super fight feels. This is the biggest fight we've had in a very, very, very long time. This is a super fight. This is a money fight. This is everything for both guys. Both men. This is a big deal. Where this is kind of make or break for both their careers. Where if JDM wins, he's now in superstar stratosphere. UFC poster boy stratosphere. The UFC's next big name. The UFC's next big thing. Where I look at Islam, if you win, you're the greatest of all time. And there's no denying you. That's just the level we're looking at. That's what we're looking at for Islam. And for JDM, like the loser of this, gets a little bit difficult. It gets a little bit tricky. It gets a little bit messy. I can't wait for this fight. I can't wait for this card, dude. Like, this card's fucking incredible. Like, And then even this, like, the card's fucking great. But I am worried about this fight, because there's a sad and brutal reality for both of these two. Where the winner is set off into another universe, and they are the next big thing for the UFC. If you lose, what the fuck happens? Because I think it's going to be like Andy from Toy Story, which is, I don't want to play with you anymore. That's what's going to happen to one of these two. And I can't fucking wait for this card, for this fight. I'm going to live stream it, obviously, but I'm worried for the loser of this fight. I really am. I'm really, really worried for the loser. Because I am worried that their career might fall off of a cliff. and there might be no saving it.